Hi, I'm Marc Redfield. I'm a professor of English, comparative literature, and German here at Brown, and this spring I'm a fellow at the Cogut Institute. I'm writing a book provisionally entitled Homeless Hospitality, about literary hospitality, and my main authors are Immanuel Kant, Franz Kafka, and the Brazilian writer Clarice Lispector. In this extremely short presentation, I'm going to first explain why I'm writing about hospitality, say a word about what I mean by literary hospitality, and then a word about why I'm writing about these three authors. Hospitality, the welcoming of the other, is a fundamental aspect of culture and of ethics. I'm influenced in my approach to this topic by the work of the great French philosopher Jacques Derrida, who had an extraordinary ability to tease out tensions or conflicts within fundamental concepts. Hospitality, he notes, in order to be the concept that it is, has to be both unconditional and conditional. Unconditional in the sense that true hospitality would be a welcoming of the absolute other, an opening of the home beyond even any definition of the home. And unconditional hospitality, therefore, is impossible. But it's an ethical drive inscribed in the concept of hospitality, which, in order to be itself, also has to have conditions. There has to be a home, a door, a threshold, someone with authority to invite a guest. So hospitality has to be both these things at once. And what I call literary hospitality happens when a literary text, through the resources of language, helps us get a sense of a hospitality that would be so far-reaching that it would not depend on a home at all. Now, clearly, this is not a social value. Homelessness in the real world is a tragedy. This is rather an ethical impulse that is inscribed in the appeal and the power of a literary text. So why these three authors? Immanuel Kant is the most important modern theorist of hospitality as a cosmopolitan right. His notion of hospitality is hedged about with rules, but my reading of Kant discloses a literary element in his text that opens his text to what Derrida would call unconditional hospitality. And then I pass to Franz Kafka, who in The Castle tells the story of the character K's doomed attempt to reach the castle, which he never achieves, and that attempt turns into a kind of aimless wandering in which I read the possibility of a literary welcome. And now I'm currently in the middle of writing my chapter on Lispector, about her great, strange quasi-novel, The Passion According to G.H. This is a novel with a minimal plot. A woman living in a penthouse in Rio de Janeiro decides to clean the room that has been vacated by her maid who has quit. And in that room, the woman suffers a mystical experience as she encounters a cockroach. So the plot of the novel, to the extent that there is a plot, involves the woman, G.H.'s, becoming a guest within her own home, the guest of Janaïr, the maid who has left, and of the roach, which is to say, there is a certain hospitality of the animal that is imagined in this novel. Another form of impossible hospitality that nonetheless is made possible within a literary text. And that's the kind of thing literature can do. It can expand our sense of the possible. So that's where I am now, writing that chapter, after which I'll write the introduction and put the book together, and eventually it will extend its welcome to you.